Is she sending a message to someone? Hello, and welcome. I will be playing Identity V storyline for this
It's
video.
getting late. Time to go.
I have seen the AOM Chapter 1 storyline already,
That beautiful memory is so distant that it has become distorted.
but it's been months since I've seen it, and Chapter 2 is out, so I want to play through it. I'll be using text-to-speech to show what I was thinking while recording.
Bring along the investigation records. They may come in handy.
What? I forgot where it was. On the desk. Where? Oh, it was next to me. I'll just go back to the recording to read it. I'm wondering, would this choice affect the story? I'll just pick Call of Abyss. Well, this also looks interesting. But the Call of Abyss has the Muse mark, so maybe it'll affect the story. Does this mean I should go the other way now? Maybe not. So I should stop when it turns yellow. Now I'm just confused. Oh, Yuri Lam as in Eurydice. I'm wondering, in Orpheus storyline, he was sent a commission letter, with the alias being the player's name. So is there a connection with that person and this letter? Probably not, since it's just the player name. Can you even call that a good disguise? Such a wonderful disguise, a singular doll. No one will ever know who she is.
was investigating the mining disaster in Golden Cave.
This reminds me a lot of the first
My
Crow
plan was to
Lounge.
interview the survivors. But before I left, I received a message from a colleague who'd been out of reach for days. She'd finally obtained an invitation to Aletis Manor
It's pronounced
with the help
Loletus.
of an ingenious disguise. I decided to assume her identity and return to my paradise from long ago. The now infamous manor. My gut told me it might be my only chance to unravel its secrets with my own hands.
This ain't your house. Keep knocking. We can hear Frederick in the
Hi.
background.
I received an invitation.
That silence was a bit awkward. We're hiding in the bushes. Don't mind us. It's so preppy in here.
Please come with me. My apologies, but we weren't expecting you today. The Lord of the Manor isn't here, but another guest has arrived.
The French. Elegance is key.
Has a relaxed demeanor, fits in very well here, and doesn't look like a newcomer. Well dressed in properly maintained clothes, but they were in vogue 3 years ago. Finely crafted gloves, worn out of habit, but there are signs of wear between the thumb and index fingers.
That was a hint. I already saw a specific scene from Chapter 2.
Mr. Kreberg, this is, the reporter? I see. It's a pleasure to meet you.
The pleasure's all mine. You can call me...
Nothing apparently.
Hello. I'm Frederick Kreberg.
Mr. Kreberg, your performance was truly moving. Is it your own creation?
It was composed by a friend of my father's.
Your father was a composer?
Indeed. Many in my family, me included, received the call of Euterpe.
No idea what that is.
Mr. Kreberg, may I ask why you came to this manor?
Forgive me. I'm afraid we're not close enough for me to share this secret with you. I'm a little tired, so I plan to return to my room.
Is it because you're old?
Farewell.
Wait, never mind. He's 30. Why does he have white hair?
A familiar, yet unfamiliar place. A little old, simply maintained, but cleaned well.
If Orpheus is fully
An
behind
oil
these
painting of the
games,
Mirror of Venus. It looks almost exactly like the painting from my childhood. Perhaps they are one and the same?
then did he buy back the furniture with the money he made with his novels?
This was my father's favorite piano. I clearly remember it being destroyed in that accident, but someone has restored it. This place is exactly like the manor I remember. If my memory isn't deceiving me, of course.
Your room is ready. Please come with me. This is your room. I'll excuse myself if there's nothing else you need.
Can I have a moment of your time to ask you a few questions?
Of course.
Mr. Butler, when did Mr. Kreberg arrive here?
Mr. Kreberg arrived the day before yesterday.
He introduced himself as a composer?
Not entirely. Mr. Kreberg is very popular in high society. He's a well-known new classical talent around here. But when it comes to composing, he doesn't seem to have inherited his father's gift.
Spill the tea, Mr. Butler.
Where is he staying now?
Mr. Kreberg suffers from mild psychasthenia and
I
does
have
not
no
like
idea
being
what
disturbed.
that is.
So we placed him in the guest room at the end of the second floor.
To my knowledge, there should be more guests. Have they arrived?
Spill
Besides
the tea.
Mr. Kreberg and you, there are Mrs. Plinius and Mr. Orpheus. They will arrive as planned tomorrow.
Mrs. Plinius, the widow of that famous biologist?
Indeed. She's a very famous entomologist herself, and she has quite an insight into the study of plants and animals.
Where will she stay?
Mrs. Plinius is in the guest room on the western side of the main building's ground floor. It gives her convenient access to the greenhouse.
Orpheus? The popular novelist?
Indeed, the writer of suspense novels who has made quite a reputation for himself lately. I'm sure you've read his work.
Where will he stay?
Crap.
Has the Lord made
I
any
didn't
other
mean to
plans?
skip it.
Once all the guests have arrived, the Lord will tell you what to do next.
He sounds
Please
a
wait
bit annoyed.
patiently until then. You must be exhausted from the journey here, so please get some rest. I won't take up any more of your time. Dinner is served at 6. The servants return to their quarters at 11, and they prepare breakfast at 6 in the morning. Feel free to ask if you need anything else.
Thracian girl carrying the head of Orpheus on his lyre. It's a part of my father's collection. According to my previous investigations, it should have been sold off by our greedy relatives, just like the painting in the living room. But someone has brought it back here again.
Probably Orpheus if he is behind the games. Or maybe he was just supporter of the games.
This used to be my bedroom, but it has been modified into a guest room now. Not a single trace of my past life can be seen here.
I bet it's a strange feeling. Crap, 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 crap.
Perhaps I'll have the chance
I'm so
to discuss.
dumb.
I need to learn more about the... I paid special attention
Wait, she
to the
was
surroundings
speaking.
on the way here, and I didn't expect to return here like this.
Hopefully, it wasn't important dialogue.
Even though the interior of the second floor has changed, the entire building seems to be an intentional restoration of the main building from back then. So this floor plan Father drew himself should be of use. Maybe I should investigate the first floor today. It will all become harder to control once the other two guests arrive tomorrow. But I must wait until the servants go to sleep.
I was so confused when I was looking at Alice's map and the current one a few months ago.
So where should I start?
Let's start with the greenhouse then. The frog's golden ball. Was this the belladonna? Never mind.
Strange vegetation that doesn't fit in with the other plants in this greenhouse. It seems to be specially grown. Or maybe I should try to learn more from an expert in this field.
Maybe Plinius knows. That's all we're going to explore.
This used to be my favorite spot to play as a child.
Must have been a boring childhood.
My playmate would sit at the end of this dining table and scribble down interesting short stories before reading them to me. There is another place, a place that only the owner of this manor knows about.
The Muse corridor. Doesn't it have doors through the foyer? Oh wait, never mind. She's talking about the study.
These sculptures are mechanisms designed by Mr. Lapadura, and all the doors in this manor can be opened with the nightingale song.
That's a bird, right? Crap. Huh. Oh, I'm an idiot. You know what? I'm wondering, Enki's game, Antiquarian, did she figure this out? What was that? It's so preppy in here.
Someone is using this place. Is he back?
She's most likely talking about Orpheus, or maybe someone else like Burke. That's definitely not a fire hazard.
What's this? A diary? The girl mentioned in here, Emma Woods. Is she the gardener who went missing in the city? Hunters? What happened to them?
Some died.
These records sound absolutely crazy, but all of them seem linked to the cold case I was investigating.
What cold case?
It's getting late, and the servants are about to wake up. I should get back to my room. The content of the diary from my first day of investigation left me restless all night. Those referred to as hunters and those strange events are far beyond reason. But the records do reveal a frightening truth.
A nightingale is indeed a bird.
Perhaps I can only find out what they experienced by experiencing it for myself.
Well, duh. Where was the jump scare warning? This isn't FNAF.
Did you sleep well, miss? Breakfast is served. Feel free to enjoy some in the dining room.
Anything else to explore here? Nope.
The butler seems to know the preferences of each guest. I wonder which one was prepared for me.
OMG, so French. Quiche, croissant. Oui, oui. Bane likes berries, right? Wait, is Plinius vegan? Why is Alice placed further away from the others? Wait, is this what Alice prefers? Because she's going under her colleague's name.
Her face may be hidden away, but based on the skin of her neck, she's definitely still young. She has a tall and toned figure, so she's either of Eastern European descent or engages in outdoor activities all year round.
In Orpheus' storyline animations,
No expensive
and as
accessories,
her
but the
default
quality
skin,
and tailoring
she
of
had
the
a
clothes are
beekeeper's
superb.
helmet.
I can
Did
tell
she
she's
even
wealthy
actually
and
wear it
isn't
during
fond of
her time
extravagance.
in the manor?
Good morning. You must be Mrs. Plinius. A reporter.
Melly Plinius. Nice to meet you.
May I ask why you came here?
There's a unique species of bees nearby. I'm here to study them.
Were you just at the greenhouse?
Damn it, I accidentally
botany
skipped
too?
it.
My husband was very skilled in that field, and I helped him with some of his research, so I've dabbled in it a little.
You have my condolences.
Risk is always present in life, just like it is in research. It is in the past.
Are the special plants you mentioned earlier those ferns? Why are they growing here?
It is quite unusual indeed. With the exception of a few plants like cornflowers, most ornamental plants
Cornflowers,
prefer acidic
like
soil.
the ones in the racecourse game mode.
Those ferns are no exception. The Lord of the Manor prepared a type of artificial soil just to grow it. I've only ever seen that kind of soil owned by a family of aristocrats in the Mediterranean.
Frenchman.
Good morning, Mr. Kreberg.
Good morning.
I can't tell if it's a lack of rest or something else, but Mr. Kreberg looks a little upset. I presume you're the novelist the butler mentioned. Dressed in the latest design, with carefully groomed hair and accessories. Perfect for a rising star in the world of novelists. There are wet spots on his cuffs that look like the work of dew. Where did he go so early in the day? It
Where
seems
is the dew?
Orpheus's work has brought him a considerable amount of income. I've read many books written by Orpheus, but I've never met you in the flesh.
Good morning, Mrs. Plinius. I didn't expect to see you here.
Good morning, Mr. Orpheus.
I just noticed. Does she have a rash
Good
on
morning.
her cheek?
I'm Orpheus, a novelist.
It's an honor. A reporter. Is Orpheus your real name?
Forgive me, miss. Only my pseudonym can be used in public. It's part of my agreement with my publisher.
That's all right. We're not here to socialize anyway.
Mr. Butler, are there any plans for today? When will we get to meet the Lord?
She must be excited to
My
see
lord
those
invites
bees.
all of you to Kreberg Racecourse at the west of the manor this afternoon.
Kreberg Racecourse? I thought it was abandoned after that incident.
It is as you say, the racecourse is not active. My lord merely asked that all of you go there this afternoon. Besides that, please keep the promise you made upon accepting the invitation. Do not wander around at night, and do not leave the main building before receiving a second invitation.
The butler seems to know something. But relatively speaking, I'm more interested in what Mr. Orpheus mentioned. Mr. Orpheus, what does the thing you mentioned earlier refer to?
Around 10 years ago, an Irish nobleman, Manus du Capet, acquired this manor. His noble conduct was very popular. The middle-class families in the vicinity hoped to marry off their daughters to him. But Manus fell in love at first sight with a noblewoman from Austria, Mary. However, Mary grew depressed after the wedding. The depression was attributed to Mary's lack of suitable social venues. Manus built a racecourse for her. The horse races there soon became the hottest social event in town. Everything seemed to be going in the right direction, until Mary committed in the racecourse, and an ominous air filled the place. The tragedy didn't end there. Not long after Mary's death, racehorses galloped out of the track and caused a fatal stampede, ultimately embroiling Manus in a lengthy lawsuit. Maybe it was the pressure from the claimants, or it was the sorrow from the death of his wife. Manus went mad, and he was never seen again. As for the manor, it was sold off by Manus's creditors.
Why is the race course called Kreberg?
Kreberg was the maiden name of the wife of the manor's previous owner.
It seems like he really loved his wife. So why did Mary take her own?
There are many theories about that. Some say Mary had an affair with a jockey, and she was condemned for it. She couldn't take the pressure, and took her life. Of course, some say it was a murder, disguised as a... After all, there's always a price to pay for being unfaithful. Just like those insects, right, Mrs. Plinius?
The fuck he throwing shade for?
I didn't expect you to be so interested in etymology, Orpheus. However, insects are unlike humans. They do not betray easily because there is more than a single price to pay. Speaking of which, we have a Kreberg with us too.
I'm sorry to say that I'm French. Forgive me, but I wish to rest a while longer.
French.
I'll see you in the afternoon.
It's common knowledge that the Mary from Austria, whose head and her crown fell together, was from France.
I'm going to continue my research in the greenhouse. I'll see you both in the afternoon.
Alice was just sitting there listening.
I plan to have another look at the collection in the living room. See you in the afternoon, Miss Reporter.
There seems to be more to their relationships. I should get a better understanding of my playmates before the game begins. I'll start with the famous novelist.
Thanks for watching. For now that's all. I don't have an outro yet.